Hey guys, so last week you were to read the section about winds in your book, and then you watched the Bill Nye about winds on Friday. So let's do a little discussion about global winds and what is wind, what causes it, why do we have it, how does it move, etc. Um, in your note sheet, you have in OneNote in your new weather section, you have your wind notes, and you will also have the answers to the wind notes that you can double check to make sure that you have the right information. But I want to go ahead and look at our PowerPoint, the one that I shared with you on your winds notes page. Wind is basically the movement of air caused by differences in air pressure. So wind or air that becomes wind wants to go from an area of high pressure to low pressure. And on our Earth, the equator is receiving the most direct solar energy because the sun's rays hit it like straight on. Whereas up by the poles, the Earth is curved, so it's getting it like at an angle. You can see here and here that it's not getting direct sunlight. We get the most direct sunlight at the equator. So, like I said, because the Earth is curved, it gets different areas of different amounts of radiation, and we know radiation is energy from the sun. At the equator, you have more warm air. Warm air is less dense. The molecules spread apart. We've learned about this a lot with density. And at the poles, your air is more dense, so it sinks. So air wants to move from the poles and sink down towards the equator. And the air at the equator wants to move toward the pole. So that happens in the northern hemisphere and the southern. Warm, less dense air creates an area of low pressure. Low pressure. Molecules are spreading apart. There's low pressure. So you'll have to remember, warm air is low pressure. Colder air, where the molecules are tightly packed together, is high pressure. So wind is the movement of air from high pressure to low. You want to get away from high pressure. Now, our global winds don't just travel in one big, huge pattern. We have these like different areas on the Earth that it's separated in. We call those convection cells. And it has to do with like the different amount of pressure at those different areas. Now, a while back when we learned about ocean currents, we talked about the Coriolis effect. So our Earth is spinning very fast. So because it's rotating so fast, air and water on our Earth curves. It doesn't move in a straight line, it curves. I think I showed you guys this with like a globe when we did currents. The globe was spinning and I tried to draw from pole to equator and it wouldn't let me do it in a straight line. There's our currents like we talked about. In the northern hemisphere, they're moving clockwise, and in the southern hemisphere, they're moving opposite counterclockwise. All right, so now we have these major wind systems that are called global winds. And global winds are separated by those convection cells, pressure belts, like at the equator and at 30 north and at 60 up to 90, where's North Pole. And the same thing happens down in the southern hemisphere. You have the equator 30 south, 60 south, and 90 south, which would be the South Pole. Now, after you watch this video, I'm going to have you guys label a diagram of the winds. And I want you to also show which way they're moving. So you'll need to refer back to this. Look at a few different diagrams of the global winds here. In this PowerPoint, there's 3 different diagrams. This one doesn't really have them labeled on the Earth, but there it talks about them here. And here is maybe a better one to kind of show us the way they move and stuff. So the equator is 0 degrees. And from 0 to 30 north, we have trade winds. We also have trade winds from 0 to 30 south. Now, they're called the trade winds because when we were trading goods from Europe to the Americas, sailors were able to use those winds to push their ships. They travel from east to west. So you could see how they're moving this direction. In the northern hemisphere, they would be curved clockwise. So if they're traveling from east to west, they kind of curve down towards the equator. In the southern hemisphere, the trade winds from 0 to 30 south, they're also traveling east to west, but they go counterclockwise. So you can see that bend. Always look at the way the arrow is turning. Now, the next major set of winds are called the westerlies. They start in the west and they move east. And again, up here in the northern hemisphere, they're going clockwise, west to east. But in the southern hemisphere, they're going counterclockwise, west to east. Okay? And then our last set of winds are called the polar easterlies. Sometimes people just call them easterlies, but they're polar because they're at the poles. So, from 60 degrees north to 90 north in the northern hemisphere, and from 60 degrees south to 90 south in the southern hemisphere, we've got these polar easterlies. They are like the trade winds in the fact that they move from east to west. So you can kind of see east to west, and in the northern hemisphere, east to west, and they go clockwise. So they have this curve like this in the north, just like the trade winds did. But then down here in the south, they go east to west, but they curve like this, counterclockwise. Those are the major global winds in the different sections of the earth. And then we also have a wind system called the jet stream. Jet stream doesn't necessarily follow like a certain section of the earth, but jet stream, the one that we refer to the most, the subtropical jet stream, moves from the west to the east, and it helps carry wind across the US. So jets, aka jet stream, might use that to help them travel a little bit easier from west to east. Now, if they're traveling from like Georgia to California, they might want to go a different way because they don't want to go against the jet stream. All right, we're going to leave local winds for later. Local winds don't travel across whole sections of the earth like the global winds do. So let's go ahead and stop for now, and we will come to the local winds later.